Good afternoon. It's a real gray December afternoon here on campus, and it's pretty quiet too. So I'm going to take this opportunity to thank everybody for agreeing to do the new version of LCS 105. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to update you on what some of the changes are and how it's going to be different, why we're doing what we're doing, and hopefully this will make a little bit more sense to you as you go in. By now, you've probably received from Associate Faculty Services from Don Kelly's office an email talking about doing some training early in January before this course starts. And really what that is for everybody is going to be explaining a little bit more about these onboarding courses, of which LCS 105 is one. And for those of you who've taught it before and understand what's going on, we found that the idea that a lot of kids, learners have been failing these classes. The classes are have incredibly high failure rates, and we know why that is. It's a lot of people who come in somehow drop out right away, and it's that grade of unearned F. And maybe the courses are a little bit intimidating to people who've come back into the education world after a long time away. After all, our average adult learner on the online program is 37 years old. So people have been away for a while. They want to get comfortable going to school again. So what we've tried to do here is we've taken 4 courses: CIS 112, the computer basics course, an English class, Management 105 for people in the business school, and LCS 105 for everybody outside of the business school, and try to rework them so that they're in a more engaging format, maybe not as voluminously detailed as they were before. And what we're trying to do is really concentrate on getting folks back into the flow of going to school and working with them through these first 4 courses, because we know that if we can get them through the first 2 months, then we've got them. So what we really want to do is work on that. So the things that you're going to be doing with Don Kelly and the ID staff are more in the idea of learning or relearning for most of us. And for most of you, actually, why you were selected for this course is because of your experience interacting with students, learning to be very positive in our feedback, very welcoming, very energetic in our participation with students. This is going to be a high-touch class. There's less volume of work for you to grade, but there's more contact expected of you with the students, and this is what we want to accomplish. So hopefully that'll show up for you and we can get a lot done there. What I did want to talk to you about, though, is many of you have been teaching the course for a long time and you're used to certain content. And I wanted to let you know that the content right now is going to be somewhat different. And as I like to say about many things, it's going to be simple but not easy. And one of the reasons for that was this is at the request of the School of Arts and Sciences and the Burke School of Public Service and Education, because these course LCS 105 is aimed at their students. What do they need? And what kept coming back to me was, we need more of a leadership course. We need more of a course about the student and what they'll be doing. So the course is now still titled Elements of Organizations, and that's still the basic point of it, but we've broken it down. We've taken out the things on personal finance, we've taken out the things on accounting, we've taken out the marketing sections, all those. We're talking about organizational functions and generalities. We're talking about leadership, we're talking about personal leadership, we're talking about communications, we're talking about all things that are going to help a student be successful in an organization. Because you remember, the premise of the course is that no matter what you do, you will be working in an organization of one way or another, in one way, shape, or form. That's where you'll be, no matter what your discipline or your field of endeavor is. So real quickly, the 8 units now, and I'm just going to read off real quickly about what they will be, and you can take a look at them as the course is released to you, which is going to be in a few more days. It's really not going to be until after the Christmas holiday before you'll be able to see it, but I wanted you to have this in hand. First week is going to be about organizations, their history, and a little bit about management, what management does. Really, that simple. And we have some good material for you on that. Next week, we're going to come up and talk about the roles and cultures of organization. And we're looking more to the student to what their role is in an organization, and we're looking to teach them a little bit about organizational culture, how organization cultures get built, how it expands, how it controls everything that they do. The assignment talks about the unwritten rules of an organization, all those kind of things that help them understand that different organizations have different cultures, and that affects your work life. Unit 3 is pretty straightforward. It's going to be about leaders and leadership traits. And we're actually going to have a couple of things in the course that are going to allow students to actually take a little psychometric instrument so that they can discover something about their own leadership style. So that is pretty straightforward stuff, but again, maybe stressing the difference between leaders and managers, so we want that emphasized. Number 4, Unit 4, is all about communications and the skills and the why of communications. Why do you communicate? How? How do you become more effective at it? Again, pretty universal across the board. Unit 5, I hope to make pretty interesting. It's going to be about ethics in organizations, okay? And in this case, we don't want to spend too much time on ethical theory. We present 2 major ones. We present the students an opportunity to answer some ethical dilemmas for themselves, but we want them to understand that ethics is not simply right and wrong. It's a decision-making process. There are things that go into it, that it is a discipline that people can understand, and again, how it relates to organizational culture and their roles in organizations and what they do. Unit 6, we will spend time on the work of organizations, and that whole idea is there because, again, no matter what field of endeavor, what industry you're in, certain organizations, maybe generally all organizations, have got to do certain things. They've got to manage their money. They've got to manage their fixed assets. They've got to attract and retain employees. They've got to do all these kind of things. And so we're going to examine these common roles of organizations and what students can do to participate in them. Unit 7, a little bit on project management. But rather than call it project management, which for a lot of people conjures up a whole bunch of scary formulas and methodologies and everything, we're simply calling it managing projects, getting stuff done. And here you're going to spend time with them working on some basic project management skills and some basic personal management skills, such as goal setting and its value to both an organization and a person. And then the last week, we're going to talk about putting it all together, and we have some neat things on the whole concept of systems thinking, so students can see how everything fits together, how when one thing goes wrong, other things will, where chains are only as strong as their weakest link. That's the emphasis. Those are the 8 units, okay? They're pretty self-explanatory. We think it's going to take less time for the students to go through them than the old course. They're going to be asked to do a course-along project, which is, again, very self-explanatory. We're going to ask them to do a lot of self-examination and self-reflection. And your job is not only going to be the usual instructor role, but your job is really to interact with people and to get them excited about going on in the course and setting them up with the skills and the opportunity to learn things not only going to help them in their organization, but help them going on to their next courses, which are going to get much more difficult, and keeping them on the right track. So that's really the rationale behind all this. Those are the content changes. I'll try to write things up for you so that they get them, but I really wanted you to have the opportunity to hear just from me a little bit of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what our overall goals are. Okay? Thanks for agreeing to take on the course in this new changed time. I think it's going to make a difference. Okay? Thanks very much.